Hello guys, and welcome back to another FM26 video. You join me around mid-season. We're coming up to the January transfer market of my beginning season. Obviously, I've not shown any of this before. I'm not a YouTuber by any means, but I'm actually looking to document this more for myself. I used to write all this down on a notepad. Why not just make it into a video? So you join me, obviously, in Enterprise South, as it's now called. It used to be the National League South. I am Bath City, sitting pretty in 9th. For Bath, I'm having a very good season. As you can see, I played 11, won 5. I've drawn 3, lost 3. Now, if you look at our goals for, we are 20, which is one of the highest in the league. Hemel Hempstead, weirdly, there on 21, where they've also conceded 21. And then if you look at our goals against, we've only conceded 9. Once again, there's only 1 or 2 better. So for Bath, really, really good. I will show you my team and my tactic next. So you'll see this is my in-possession tactic. So when we have the ball, 2 centre-backs sitting deep, as expected. We've almost got a 3-man covering. My only real width comes from these wing-backs. 2 centre-mids, a cam, and then 2 strikers. So obviously a lot of focus of play down the middle, which best suits a lot of Bath City players, with Greenslade and normally Reigns providing them width. Harvey Wild-Rich is still on the number 1 spot there. If I actually go to here, pick without restriction, my best 11, you'll see my best 11 here. This is how I would like to set up. Obviously Wilson in real life gone out on loan to Western-super-Mare, actually doing pretty well there. So he is replaced quite easily with Brad Ash, and really this would be my starting 11 90% of the time. Out of possession, we drop here really deep. We're almost into a back 7 really. Tilson drops into centre back. Normally I'll swap these two around here, so it's not too far for Tilson to drop into his role. But you see we're dropping to a back 5 here. In terms of players we've signed, I have signed players. I normally don't, but I've decided to sign 2 players whilst on this save. Number 1, Keta Diawa. I signed him back on FM24 quite often, and he operates on the left hand side. I actually plan to use him to take Greenslade's place. You can see he's quite a good player for our division, for our league, and I'm sure he's going to grow. The other guy signing at Gibbons, not actually on a contract, he's on a pay-as-you-play contract, I suppose. Bit older, but what appealed to me was he could play both the right and left hand side. Even really centre mid if he wants to. Cam, bit of an all-round player, but he was an emergency last-minute signing when Reigns got injured. You'll see my injuries. We've got Reigns, you'll see in the team. He's out for another month and a half, 2 months. Sweeten picked up a little knock earlier in the season. He'll be back in the next week or so. I look forward to having him back. He normally plays instead of Beardmore, to be honest, because I really like Sweeten. In real life, I would say he's the future of Bath City. Very good player in real life as well. I am from Bath. I do watch Bath a lot. And obviously the obvious, Zach Smith. Bath signed him. We got injured all year. Came back, started the season in the pre-season, and I actually watched him in the warm-up. Not doing a lot. I think he was just passing the ball around. And torn his ACL. So he's out. And he is a player I do quite like, actually, when I watched him. So I'll probably keep him on and hopefully play him, to be honest, because Bath spent that money on him and haven't really got him. We go back to my home here. We go to the calendar. I'll try and get you up to date with some fixtures. So most recently, really, this last month, see we got the FA Cup win here against Carshalton, 3-0. Drew against Dagenham Redbridge in the next leg, 2-2. And then went on to beat them 2-0. So we are still in the FA Cup, and we're looking to play MK Dons on the 1st of November. The game we're focused on today, I think, is against Totton. We've already played this one against Hornchurch, so I will start to process through here. I do plan to start a completely brand new save, probably with Bath City again, to be honest, just for YouTube, but I'm only recording this video for personal reasons. I want to see how my recording software works, and how the video comes out. So this may never even make it to YouTube, but we shall see if it ever does. Yeah, I'm praising the form of Matthews. He had a very good game last game. He even scored actually cutting in from that right, and he's a player who doesn't play in the starting 11 much for me, because like I said, I'd rather Reigns, and I bring other people in instead of him. He's only here on loan, and I don't like loans that much in this game. I like to develop my own players. Horsell, actually keeper for us. If we looked at our under 18s, under 21, sorry, see Horsell's there, and actually he's not awful for our level. But we've got two brilliant keepers in Reigns and Binns anyway, so Horsell wouldn't get a look in, but he's a good guy. He is our coach. He does help us out. He's telling us we need to rotate. We did play a game not that long ago. I tend to go with what Horsell says. I only really like building the tactics. Choosing a team, not so much for me. Although I often do get involved, because they don't often want me to play Sweeten. And I think, especially in my team, the younger players, I like to play more. The more game time they're going to get, the better they're going to get, is the way I see it. Dynamic potential and everything like that. Gets me quite excited for what could be if I keep playing Sweeten, whether he's playing bad, whether he's playing good. As I go up the leagues and I'm in suddenly the National League and suddenly in League 2, if he's playing week in, week out of League 2, I would like to think he can only get better. Speaking of Lewis Sweeten, he's a partial pass on a fitness test. That says to me he can make the bench. And I probably will put him on the bench, and I will ensure that I bring him on later on in the game. So I'm going to go to, I want to pick a rotated squad with a slight rotation. Look at people's fitness here. I'm looking at the bench. Sweeten is there. Returns to full training in 4 days, so he's not even returned. Maximum 60 minutes of action he could get today. Jenkins Davies not even making my squad today, according to what they're suggesting. I forgot to mention Alves at the moment. Not getting a looking in the team, so I retrained him at left wing back, and then I've brought in Keita Diawara. So I think Alves will be one who will be leaving the squad soon. Mabika, a youth player, not any good for me really. He's got good physicals, his fitness, his pace, etc. Brilliant. Pass out the captains out of the team today. Interesting. They brought Matthews in to replace him. I don't mind that. I actually quite like Matthews. I want to rearrange my defence. I want Tilson to drop in there. And I think Batten goes on the left-hand side of the defence. Greenside I'm actually going to take off. I'm going to start Keita Diawara today. Owen Windsor, my best scorer. Charlie Binns versus Wiles Richards is always an interesting one to fight over. If you look at the stars as such in the game, they will tell you that Wiles Richards is better. If we look at Binns' stats here, his aerial reach, jump in, his reach, you know, in and around the box, it's his shot stopping that maybe isn't as good as Wiles Richards. Wiles Richards, you know, its reflexes, he does tend to rush out, but his decisions, determination, his pace as well. So at the moment, Wiles Richards is number 1. They're both young. I think Wiles Richards is 23 and I think Binns is 21. So it's a close competition between them. But for Bath to have two young, good keepers, and in the background we've got Horsell, who, if we really need a keeper, if one of them gets injured, one of them leaves, we do have Horsell in the squad, who can easily be a bench goalkeeper. I might give him a run out in a game or two actually this season. I wish I used him earlier in the FA Cup, thinking about it now, but you know, we've moved past that now. There comes an attack. Beardmore, on the game and in real life, is a very creative player. Can't seem to get the best out of Jenkins Davies, and in real life for Bath he's one of the better players, so I need a bit more out of him this season, and maybe that's why he's been rotated out this game. Beardmore's a good option. He had a great game from centre midfield last game. Jenkins Davies, saying that last game, I believe got an assist as well, so we'll find out. Fisher, one of our favourite players in real life, doesn't get a look in real life. He seems to be overlooked by the manager. I'm surprised we kept him on, because he didn't play much last year, and with us bringing in Bauman and Windsor in real life, there didn't seem much space for him. But as you've just seen, we've gone 1-0 down there quite quickly, not even 7 minutes in, against Totton, and it was just quick play down the wing. That's Gibbons getting beaten really on the wing, easy ball across the middle, and that's Totton 1-0 up. So it's not a great start for us this game, but you know, you can't win them all, you can't lose them all. Well, you can, but you know what I mean. Matthews, like I said, had a great game, but he played wing back last game. He's now in a centre back role this game, but it's rotating in the squad. Gibbons, who I just slated, plays well. It's a good save, corner to us. In real life, Bath City quite good at set pieces. They have a few dead ball specialists. Alves most recently in real life scoring against Chippenham just on the weekend in a 3-2 loss, which was a bit surprising for me away from home, especially a late goal conceded. But Bath's done that a few times this season, conceded a late goal, so that's something they need to sort in real life. But that's got to be a penalty, and that is a penalty. And you'll notice a lot with this FM, there always seems to be the strikers are very good at finding gaps between the centre back and the wing back on each side. That's Fisher, my favourite player in real life for Bath City, even though, like I said, he doesn't play. Favourite player I've ever played is actually Luke Russ. I think his determination and his scruffiness, a bit like a pit bull, is brilliant in real life. But Fish stepped up this time for the penalty in the absence of Jenkins-Davies, sends the keeper the wrong way, and we bring it back to 1-1 by 10 minutes, an even game so far. Bath City, we tend to dominate possession. You'll see a lot of the games I play, we have 55-60% possession as a minimum, that is, most games. I believe that's due to the compact midfield. I really think having a compact midfield helps you out on FM. You keep the ball more, your players have more options, and it just seems to help out a lot. And these wing backs, like I said, they really push on both sides, whether that's Rains, Greenslade, Matthews, Gibbons. I'm hoping to see a good performance from Kessa Diawa. Like I said, he's a new signing, and the same reason I started retraining Alves, because they're so attacking, I prefer someone with good attacking ability at my wing back than defensive, which sometimes catches my defence out, but they really impact the game from these wide areas for me. I'm looking through Totten's lineup, seeing if there's anyone in particular I recognise the keeper Conquo, but not because of him. I think because of his brother. I'm assuming it's his brother. I could be wrong. He plays for Wrexham at the moment. Obviously an ex-Arsenal player, who are my team I fully support, my main team I suppose, and my non-league team being Bath City. My family's actually from London, and my mum used to tell me stories about when my older brothers used to walk to school. They'd walk past the old Highbury Stadium for Arsenal, so that's where my Arsenal support comes from, my granddad and my mum. Bath City is just where I was born in Bath, grew up in Bath, still live in the surrounding areas of Bath, go watch them regularly. I work in Bath, so quite an affiliation with Bath here. I only really started watching them properly recently, the past year and a half, 2 years. I don't know how it really came about. I just decided I wanted to watch more football and support my local club, and Bath seemed like a good one to do, and that is a great play there by the Bath City team. Beardmore playing it through to Ash. Very easy tap in, but that, as it says on the screen, sheer magic. You can see Beardmore to Russ. Beardmore cuts inside, plays it in easy to Ash. Ash takes a touch through two defenders, very good there. And I think the keeper there obviously thought he was going to go for the far post, but he went for the near post. Keeper shouldn't be beaten there, but that build-up play is absolutely brilliant. And you can see by the match ratings, our front three are doing very well. And Gibbons, who has an emergency signing to fill in big boots for Rains, to be honest, is doing an absolutely cracking job. I don't see a way I can fit Alves in his team unless I start retraining him as a striker, which might be a really good bench option, because at the moment my only real bench option up top has been Fish, so I'm relying a lot on Brad Ash up top, and Windsor is our main striker this season. I think he's probably one of our top goal scorers. He's only 4 goals in what was 10 games before this. He's not playing this game, so still scored 4 in 10 from what he's played. He's been my main goal scorer, so I really need a bit more from Fish. But maybe I look at pushing Alves up top. Maybe I even look at pushing Jenkins-Davies as a striker, more of a second striker, should I say. But we'll see from the stats, it's very, very 50-50 this game. We've had a couple more opportunities. They've had a little bit more of the ball, which is very odd for us. We need to start taking control of that possession. That's the kind of game I like to play. Cross is completed, double there, so we're doing quite well, but quite a few fouls, no cards though. And we're covering a lot of distance here. Our average rating slightly high as well, but you would expect that to be when you're winning. I'm delighted with the performance so far. I am. We're winning. Why wouldn't I be delighted? I'm looking at Gibbons' fitness already. I'm thinking, oh, who do I bring up right wing back? I normally swap between, there's that youth player I showed you, Mabika. It's technically a striker or a right midfielder, an attacking right midfielder to be precise. But I like to try him out at right back sometimes. You know, he's a young player. After this season, he probably won't get a look into the squad. It would shock me if I let him leave. So I just need fresh legs there often. You can see a lot of the ball, like I said, it goes down the wide side of our team, and the wing backs need to be physically well prepared and fit, because they have to run up, down, it doesn't stop. Haven't seen anything from our left side. I can promise you the tactics, we do not focus play down the right, so maybe that's just our preferred way of playing the ball. But there's action to Fish with the long shot. You know, I'm looking at Spatten, I'm looking at Gibbons, I'm looking at Beardmore, and I'm thinking all three of those need to come off. We do have 5 subs. We're only 52 minutes in. I'm not sure I want to commit to 3 subs so early. I will look to do it probably after this highlight. I need to look towards keeping the lead as well. I'm taking off some key players, but I could bring on some key players. Like I said, Beardmore can come off. I should have. Whoa, okay. Sorry, I thought that was going in. I've never seen that highlight kind of clip before, so I had a feeling that might actually sneak in, but good for them it didn't. So look to replace Gibbons. I don't really have options. My best actual option is probably Tomlinson, or I bring on Greenslade and place some on the wrong side, or I tuck Russ back. I'm going to go for Alves. He's not looking too good on the bench. He's a bit complacent, but I think that needs to happen. I'm looking at Batten and Matthews now, thinking, oh, both my centre-backs tired. That can't be good for this game. So I'll probably bring Tomlinson on, I think, for Matthews. Russ and centre mid. Not really options on the bench. I'm going to drop Beardmore back and take Russ off for... Let's get Windsor. Windsor can definitely play in that position. He's a bit out of position, but let's see how this goes. Coming up to the 55th minute, there's another highlight. Totton on the ball. It can't be good for anyone. Great ball to De Silva. Plays that back. They look for the cross. It's well blocked, but Bath can't block that one, and it's 2-2. I felt that was coming. Scott Rendell with the goal. I'm going to skip this replay. Oh, it's disallowed. Offside. So Bath, luckily, still 2-1 up. Coming up to the 56th minute mark here. From the defensive free kick, Alves now into Beardmore. He's dropped a bit deeper. Hopefully his creative play can come out from this deeper role. And there he is. He's fouled. Bath City winning a free kick. And the guy who almost just got the assist now gives Bath a chance. Owen Windsor just came on. He shoots. Good save there by Okonkwo. I do like these games. I do try and pay attention to them, because as a non-league team, some of these people are realistic signings. Obviously, the way a lot of people like to play this is they like to look at all the free transfers that come out from the higher leagues and the youth players that are released and sign them all. I like to try and keep it semi-realistic. I say semi, I do dip in and get these youth players and all this and that. Who doesn't? But I tend to look at the free transfer pool at middle-aged people. You can see it by Gibbons, who assigned the right back. 31 years old, he's not even great. But he was a good utility option to sign, which is exactly what a lower league club needs. Someone who can cover all positions. You can play all down the right hand side, all down the left hand side, and if we really want him to, you can play centre mid as well. And that ability to play anywhere means I can rest up almost anyone in my squad for him. I thought that was a foul by Keto Diawara there, but it looks like Jackson's just gone in for the ball, twisted his ankle. Looks in a lot of pain there, so expect him to be subbed off. Yeah, he's getting treatment on the pitch whilst we're about to take the throw in. Surely we're not going to take this throw in with him on the pitch. Okay, good. That's ended. Treatment's been given. They have subbed him off. He's still defending the ball. He's still defending the throw-in his tracksuit for some reason. And we're going to restart the highlight again. FM's struggling to get through this phase of play because the injured player won't move, so my player can't take the throw-in. He's finally walking off the pitch. He's done his defensive duties for that throw, delayed us enough. He's happy now to dawdle off the pitch. And this must be a bug on FM, because he's still walking across the pitch. Can the ref not rush him off? Come on, ref. And there you go. Maybe a minute's passed on the clock, and I'm assuming he's still somewhere on the pitch because we still cannot take our throw in. Is the game broken here? Is the game broken here? Well, let's bring someone on. Let's make a sub. Maybe that might kick something in. I think we're playing now. No, I've done this actually, funny enough. Kata Diarra, you've not played bad. Let's take off. Let's take off Bauman. And I'm going to put Keto in midfield. There you go. Maybe I should have tried to make a sub earlier, because now we've managed to get past that injury. The 3 minutes stop was, the clock was still ticking over and nothing was happening. But he still found himself 2-1 up. Probably quite thankful for the disallowed goal. They're quite lucky to be where they are. And let's see, reset with Tilson. Tilson to Batten. Batten now to Beardmore. Beardmore plays back to Tilson now. Tilson into Windsor. Windsor to Ash. I would have gone out wide if I was in. Well, he technically did to Greenslade. Greenslade cuts inside brilliantly, and that makes it 3-1 to Bath City. What a goal that is by Danny Greenslade. And that substitution is a bit of magic there. I've just made that sub. I was thinking to myself, Keto's not giving us the width like Gibbons was on the other side. Greenslade here brilliantly. He cuts inside, and he just almost outside foot into the far corner. Beats their keeper. And we find ourselves now 3-1 up, coming up to the last 15 minutes of the game, last 10 minutes of the game. Ash has played well today. Fisher, Beardmore, Greenslade. Greenslade just came on. He's one of the best performers on the pitch right now. So, is Keto really going to take his place? Because Greenslade's built for this formation, and I thought Keto was going to be able to do it himself. But Keto in midfield, assured on the ball, plays it out wide to Danny. Danny again now. He's cut inside again. He's almost scored a second. And this is what I mean. This is why I like my wingbacks attacking. And Danny absolutely loves playing that wingback role. Because this isn't the first time I've seen him perform in this way in the Bath City shirt. Both in real life and on the game. In real life he's good at bombing on. That's the part of the job he enjoys the most. Now, I don't think he likes defending really. If he could, he'd be a left winger, which is effectively what he is for my team. You can see. He plays across to Fisher now. Who's Fisher going to pick up? Back to Danny. Danny. Back to Fisher. Fisher now. Floats it across. And could this be a counter-attack? Bath City are going to want to keep this out there and there. We don't want to go into the last 5 minutes with just one goal in it. And that's a great tackle by Beardmore. Windsor wins it. Windsor's now going to win this foot race. Fisher needs to support him. Will Windsor go alone? Windsor does go alone. An assist from Mitch Beardmore. You drop him deeper. And Mitch is getting involved in the play now. That's a great assist. Maybe Mitch should be playing in that centre midfield for me, getting on the ball. Since I moved in, that's his second assist. You could say this is a stroke of genius from the manager, because my sub Greenslade scored and came on. He's one of the best players on the pitch. And Beardmore's been dropped back from Cam to centre mid, and he's became one of the better players on the pitch. Windsor's came on, scored as well. So it's a game of tactics, changes that I have made. But that's a great through ball. That's another goal offside. It is offside. It did look offside to me immediately. But we're lucky. That's 2 disallowed goals today for Totton that haven't counted for offside. The score could be a lot different. It could be 4-3, but you see Greenslade's found that space again. Pick up Windsor or Ash. Bounces around, Windsor picks it up, and then, just to rub salt in the wounds, Fisher with an assist. He's had a brilliant game as well himself today. And we find ourselves 5-1 up. We're going to take off Brad Ash that is, for the youth player Mabika. Let's give him a few minutes on the pitch. He gets 7 minutes, 6 minutes added time as well for him to play in. So a little run up for the youth play, you know, when you go a bit further ahead you should, but in comparison to the first half where all the stats are very equal, you see we've got our 55% possession back. We went up to 18 shots in the end with 14 of those on target, so 5 goals really for that isn't very good. Windsor subbed on by me, scores 2 goals, gets an 8.6. Beardmore when dropped back, got 2 assists. Greenslade subbed on, got a goal. You know, Alves didn't do much to be fair. Ash did brilliantly, got subbed off last minute, so it don't really count. But what a great game that is for Bath. I'm very happy with the result and the way they played. Well, we won 5-1. The only thing I can ask is for more clean sheets, but I expect you'll see if we look at the league, we probably scored the most and maybe conceded the least or joint least in the league. We go into the press conference, you know, I'll clip these random, always go positive stuff. You never want to not do that. But before I leave you, we get an update on the league. So we're now 12 games played, won 6, drew 3, lost 3, 25 goal difference, which I can confirm is the best in the league. And against, 10, I thought it said we were 23. I was at 10. So only 1 lower than us on 9. So yeah, scored the most and conceded the second least in the league. Dagenham and Redbridge on fine form here, although they have just apparently, looks like, lost to Horsham in their last game. So they're on 28, we are 7 points adrift, although we are sitting nicely in the playoffs. Our next game, you will see, is going to be against Hemel Hempstead, so I will see you then. Thank you and goodbye.